Can you please choose the hards and complain about how you're not going to make it to the end of the race at all? I was actually going to choose the hards just to see. My tyres are gone. Get in there, Lewis. So these have been put into the game early. People on PC have found ways to kind of shoehorn them into pre-existing races. So none of this is released yet, but we're gonna try it anyway. I can't use weapons or anything from here. Oh, the animation to get out of the car is pretty cool. I've not seen that before. So, those on the soft tyres are going to have to pit in about 5 laps. If you're on the mediums, you're going to have to pit in 10 laps. Hards should be able to make it all the way through the race. Alright, away we go. I've never actually used these in a racing situation, so I chose the hard tyres. You do have tyre choice, yes. You either be able to choose soft, medium or hard. Softs won't last as long, but should be quicker. At least that's what it seems to be. These are all the stock versions of the cars, by the way, they're not upgraded. And I chose the hard tyres. There's the pit lane on the left there.
Oh, what a scumbag!
So when you come into the pits, when you run out of tyres, your tyres will lose grip and then pop. If you come into the pits, it will fix your tyres. They're so grippy. Like, there's literally no reason to slow down for the corners. So I don't know, like, I'm on the hard tyres, which theoretically means I should be slower. But it means I'll be able to go all the way through the race without a pit stop. Ow. First person. This is what it looks like in first person. Looking back is just looking back. There's so much grip, like, it's insane. Ironically, the racing in these cars probably won't actually be any good because there's going to be no skill required because you're just going to be able to do every corner flat out on most tracks. I mean, you've got the controller cam so you can see how much I actually go off the throttle. I will be testing both this and the R88. I'm going to be testing on the day that they're released, obviously, as always with all new cars and with all the options. So I'll be testing them with the hard tyres, the soft tyres, the medium tyres, seeing how quick each tyre option is and also how long they last. It's going to be a long day. Don't expect a video, you know, midday like normal, but I will do all the testing for it. I don't know yet whether it's based on time or distance. There's no sort of tyre wear indicator, which there might be in the final version. The KERS boost that these open wheelers have is disabled in this race as well. Like, these aren't going to be the quickest things in a straight line, I'm pretty sure. I mean, these feel quick in a straight line already, and they're not upgraded, but it's not the point of open wheel race cars. It's all about speed around the corners. So yeah, it's kind of interesting that it's probably going to lead to the worst racing that you could do, because there's no braking zones to get any overtakes done. Everyone's just going to be follow the leader around the track as soon as you nail down, you know, how to do the corners. Yeah, that's the thing. If slipstream in this game was good, the lack of ability to, you know, overtake wouldn't be so much of a problem. But the problem is that slipstream in this game is ridiculous. Maybe it'll be required to make these races actually interesting. They just corner so quickly. And then if you get it slightly wrong, you lose so much time. If there's not enough of a pace difference between the softs, the mediums and the hards, then there's no point in using anything other than the hards. We've only overtook each other for 3rd and 4th place because of mistakes that we've made by grinding against the walls too much. I haven't used the... Have I used the brake at all in this race? I mean, I have 1 or 2 times, but I don't think you need to. That's why the races have a potential to be boring. Rip. Back marker issues. Oh, Kiwi's lost his front wing. He's gonna have to pit. Or not. Oh, Sins has had to pit. Sins must have been on mediums. This is the fight for the lead now. Four-way fight for the lead. It's hotted up. Kiwi must be on hards if he didn't pit for the damage. It doesn't look like the damage is actually having an effect. Unless it's only damaged on my screen. Keep getting that corner wrong. I can do that a lot better. So if Sins is on the mediums, it doesn't seem like the mediums give that much of a pace advantage. Maybe it's just because we're able to full throttle all of these corners. So there's not really much of a limiting factor. I think that's what it is. The corners are so open that doesn't matter what kind of tyre you're on, you're able to full throttle pretty much everything, almost. So the any difference between hard, medium and soft tyres in terms of lap time and grip isn't really being shown. You need corners where the hards can't get around the corner fully at full speed, whereas the soft can, to show any kind of difference. Yeah, there was a bit of a difference in that corner. Mess it up every single lap. I've messed up that corner. Okay, that's why I haven't been getting them right, because you can just full throttle the entire thing. You don't need to even let off the throttle. Oh my god. That's the first time I tried it full throttle and it just went. Did you feel any loss in traction at all during the race? No. I'm pretty sure when the tyres give out, it's just a cliff. There's no time loss or anything like that. They just pop. That is an excellent GTA version of how boring F1 is. Everybody choose the soft tyres and everybody has to do one pit stop. Well, I mean, you can choose whatever tyres you want, I suppose, but everybody has to do one pit stop during this race. Same story. When I pull off to the side, I won't be able to beat my horn. The race will start. You're not allowed to overtake until after the hairpin. They don't have horns, these cars. Oh my god, it's an absolute mess. As soon as you put in a track with some corners. I haven't even gone all the way to the back either. Yeah, I genuinely don't know how these races are gonna go when they get released. I genuinely think that that's a problem ever since the spoilers upgrade. Ever since they added spoilers increasing traction. The traction to power ratio has just been all off. Really has. That's why muscle cars are so good. They're the most challenging to drive, and they produce some of the best racing because they don't have an awful lot of traction, but they've still got a lot of speed. But a lot of the general GTA populace can't drive cars that don't have a lot of traction, I suppose. God damn it. It is difficult. It does take a little bit of getting used to be fair. The sort of how quickly they turn and the turning circle that they have. Sports Classics 2, yeah, before the new breed of Sports Classics, that is. I wonder what kind of tracks they're going to make for these kind of cars. That was awful. Screw it, I'm doing first person. I feel like you get a better sense of speed from first person with these cars. Like most cars in the game, you can't possibly drive in first person, but these might be an exception. So everyone's got to do one pit stop, but unlike when we normally do these kind of pit stop, forced mandatory pit stop races, we don't have a lot of people. Nobody's going for their pits on the first lap or whatever, because tyre wear is a thing, and you've got to keep that in mind. You can't just go for your first lap pit stop and expect to be able to, get to the end of the race on the soft tyres. It's a lot better when there's tighter corners with hairpins like that. It does take a lot of getting used to the insane levels of traction though. Oh, he's not had a good time. I'm telling you, this is better in first person. It's a lot easier to get used to the grip levels in first person, I think. And it's a lot easier to be more precise at full throttle. No speedo. There is a speedo. It's right there in the middle of the steering wheel. God damn it. Alright, I'm pitting. I'm taking a gamble. that my tyres are going to actually last for the remainder of the race. Damn it. Do I still have my front wing? I do. Wrenches seem to work. Oh, I know why the wrenches work. Because this is technically a land race, it's not a stunt race. It's classed as a land race. That's why the bottom right is how it is. So, non-upgraded, you're looking at a top speed of about 110 miles per hour. With upgrades, you can probably increase that by maybe 10 miles per hour at best. So maybe 120 mile per hour for a top speed. It's not what... Top speed was never going to be what makes these cars quick. Ah, gotcha. About the speedo, not being able to see it. I understand. God damn it. I'm still sticking to the fact that first person is better. I'm just making mistakes. These cars do accelerate pretty well. I mean, surely people weren't expecting Formula cars to have, like... I mean, maybe. Yeah, these cars aren't going to have crazy high top speeds. Pariah is going to beat these for top speed. These will demolish everything around the track, though. And let's go back to third person, see if I can do any better now I've got a sense of some of the corners and how quick this car can go around them. Someone's tyres had just popped. So, what lap is this? Lap 5 out of 8. So we're only halfway through the race. Well, I might be in trouble. I might have to do 2 pit stops if someone's tyres had popped from tyre wear already. If they hadn't just popped for, you know, not external reasons. Other people seem to be doing okay, but I don't know whether they've pitted yet. They might have all already pitted. Oh, there's another one. A few people making their stops now. Playing it safe and smart. I did a very early stop. I can't even remember what lap it was. Was it lap 3? They accelerate really well, actually. The acceleration out of the corners pretty decent. And yeah, if you get the right track, we're seeing a lot more interesting racing available on a track like this. And yeah, just to clear it up, digital speedos are accurate in GTA. It's the other speedos that aren't in cars. Before someone says why were you looking at the speedo if you always said that the speedos were inaccurate in GTA? Rains in 2 minutes. Ooh, I wonder. I can't remember what this was set to. Whether it was set to current or clear. Oh, what a scumbag! It's someone with pop tires again. Look at this. I do wish that these cars did have a bit more top end. Like, at least 130 mile per hour top end supercar level of top speed. I mean, the Pariah goes 136. I don't think it would have been too much to ask to make these cars go 140. But whether people could have handled them or not. Viscera speeds, what, 170? I don't feel good about my early pit stop decision. I think what a scumbag. I think my tyres are going to pop before the end. That time in first person definitely helped me out to get an understanding of just what I can do with the cars. But I definitely think I'm probably quicker in third person, just like it would be with any other car in GTA. You just got to be a little bit more precise than you normally were used to being, because the speeds are so much higher. They don't have a massive off-road traction loss like the open wheelers and race cars do on Project Homecoming. This has been a more interesting race, certainly, than the first one. With the track actually having a bit about it, it's been a lot more interesting. This is James, you can do this, just keep doing what you're doing, tyres are looking good. I don't know man. I don't know about getting these tyres to the end. I mean, obviously it's GTA, so there's no sort of... You can't just drive a little bit easier and the tyres will last a bit longer. The tyres don't lose grip as you're going through the race. They just... Basically, you have tyres, they get to a point where they don't work anymore and then they pop. Oh, there's the rain. It was set to current weather. Final lap's going to be in rain. Is it the final lap? It's going to be the final lap. Can I make it? Can I make the final lap? I feel like this hasn't been too bad of a race from me, performance-wise. I've managed to come back through the pack. There we go, it's wet. It's definitely wet track now. Probably not even going to barely notice a difference. Oh no, there is a difference. There's definitely a difference. This makes it... The rain, once again, makes a race so much more interesting. This is the level of grip that the cars should have and be 30 miles per hour quicker to be interesting. Oh, Turbo Saab's tyres have gone. So there's another position. If I can keep these tyres to the end. Oh, bloody hell. Alright, point of no return. I've passed the pits. There's no wet tyres or inters or anything like that. It's not that advanced. Oh, we actually have some braking distances in the rain. This is how it should be. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. No, the tyres have gone! The tyres have gone at the end! I've got to be really careful. Otherwise I'll spin out. No! No! Come on! Come on! They haven't popped yet, but I've definitely lost grip. The grip's gone. Come on. No, there they go. Oh, look at this. Back again. Wow, that was close. That was close. Was it just me, or was the car quicker in a straight line when the tyre wear was down to 0? Look at the time difference, a tenth of a second, 0.2 of a second between the three of us at the line. Oh man, if I'd gone any longer, then the tyres would be popped. I'd be in this situation. If I'd gone any longer, like one more lap, that was perfectly timed right into the... Well, it wasn't perfect. Hey, you bitch! I kind of lost 6th place from it, but that was exciting. All right, that was better. Top speed increases if you lose the back spoiler as well. Yeah, it seemed like it. It seemed like my top speed was definitely higher when I'd lost grip on the tyres. You saw there how the tyres change. You know, you get to they're totally fine. Same tyres as always until you get to one point where you lose grip and they're easier to spin the car around. And then after like a few more corners, they pop completely. I just got lucky to time that well. So yeah, there's a lot to figure out with these. There's the tire wear, how that works. It seems like it also, if rain is on, tire wear is higher if you're in the rain. We've got to figure out the lap time difference between the soft, the mediums, and the hards. Whether it's even worth having the softs or the mediums, instead of just keeping the hards on. Yeah, there's a lot that I'm going to be testing when they're released, but at least that second race was a lot more fun. FYI, respawning the car does reset tire wear. I hope it doesn't in the actual game mode, because this is kind of like hacked in, I guess you could say. When they're released in the actual F1 race game mode, I hope it doesn't. But again, there's a lot that we still need to figure out, and a lot of testing that I'll be doing during on the day that they come out. So keep an eye out for that when they release. Yeah, that kind of makes the pit stops completely pointless, but I can understand them doing that from a like noob perspective. Like your tire wear depletes. Do you really want people with popped tires in any random GTA race try to get around the track with popped tires to get back to the pit lane? I feel like respawning is just going to be what happens. We'll obviously, when we do races, we'll have to say no respawning allowed.